we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you a special presentation of
Two Nerds, a podcast. Your home for everything movies, music, video games, and everything in between. With your hosts, Buddy the Bruiser, and Dynamite Jared Latchey.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Two Nerds, a podcast. I am your host, Buddy the Bruiser, and Dynamite Jared is actually off doing crazy Japan things. I think he leaves for Japan in a few days. So I was in the need of a guest host, and I'm going to have some more guest hosts in the following weeks while he is in Japan. And the show's called Two Nerds, a podcast, so I figured why not ask one of the biggest nerds I've ever met in my entire life. I've got my pal Bad Luck Byron on the show with me. So why don't you just kind of introduce yourself to the people out there? Tell them what you're all about.
Yeah.
What makes you such a big nerd? I mean, I know we're talking about a comic book movie today, but
I'm Byron. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, the Simba Pikachu.
yeah, explain the name a little bit. The Simba, because people ask me this all the time because like they see like us interact on Twitter and stuff, and they're like, "Who is this guy?"
And I had the name. So that was my first Twitter name. I had that in high school, so we had to make a Twitter for class. That's before Twitter was Twitter. So one of my teachers called me Simba, and the other one called me Pikachu, and we had like a contest who can come to the most creative Twitter name, and that's what I did, and I won, by the way.
You won? You won the contest.
Yeah, I got got some M&Ms, I think. That's what I was thinking was a contest. But yeah, what makes me a nerd? What doesn't really is the question. I watch a lot of anime. I read comic books every single Wednesday. And I definitely have almost collected every single superhero comic book related movie. I'm like halfway there.
You're actually talking to not the biggest comic book guy, although I am a nerd in other ways, anime, video games, things of that nature. You actually just told me you just bought a Switch.
Yeah. I don't play.
And you don't play. Oh, I don't play mine either. But, so people can find you on social media, the Simba Pikachu, if they want to follow you, things of that nature. Are you still doing your podcast?
Yeah, on and off. It's because of work so much now. It's been, unless I get this new job, that's where we're going to transition and start, doing stuff. But, two podcasts I produce. I do it sometimes. I'm on it sometimes. Is the warm up. It's more, I guess, if you're more in the urban community, we just talk about stuff to deal with black community and like our view on certain things, sports, anime, literally like anything just through that view. And I still work with the collective. It includes Denzel Washington. Not that Denzel Washington.
Denzel D. Washington.
Denzel D. Washington. And a few other people. So, yeah, those are the two things I'm pretty much working on when I get the time.
I know I was a big fan of a sort of a one-shot web series that you did. I haven't heard anything about it in a while. What's going on with Late Night Snack with Zach?
Late Night Snack with Zach. Well, that's postponement until Zach decides to stop being Zach. Hope you hear this, Zach.
Did the Meat Mountain just kill him, or what?
Meat Mountain, it beat him. He didn't want to admit that on the video, but it beat him. After that, he was pretty much done. And he also realized when he looked at everyone else is doing it, and he needs a lot more clout before we start pursuing this challenge.
Very interesting. Well, today we are talking about a comic book film. Normally we're talking about horror films in October, and although this film isn't a horror film, it's certainly pretty horrific at some points. But before we get to that, we're going to be talking about a super villain, but I'm sort of sitting right now with a superhero.
Oh my god, I knew you were about to say this.
So what happened?
I'm at work. I work for news, Fox 8 News. I'm a videographer there. Apparently put photojournalist down though. I don't know why. So I was going to pick up some footage at this police station. Then I see an accident. Like, actually, no. To be honest, I saw a whole bunch of black people running towards something. And the rule is when you see a bunch of black people running towards something, you run with them. So I stopped on the side of the road. I start running toward where they were going. Then I see a car in an embankment, and I hear this kid yelling like, "Where's someone say my mommy?" Someone say my mommy. So unfortunately, I see people recording on their phones. again, and I just like, and some guy like yells like, "Hey, I need some help!" So I run down there, and me and him try to kick it. We couldn't like get, cause we see her like we both tried to kick it, didn't do anything. Then she was able to like, she punched it out.
Right.
The lady.
And the car was like completely upside down.
Yeah, completely upside down. It was smoking, so we were trying to like hurry up. Then like I put her like on my shoulder a little bit, and helped her walk up the embankment. Bled all over me, like completely. But before I even got there, they got there. Luckily, they got the kids out that were in there too, and they didn't have any. Well, except one was hurt. Their neck was hurting, but other than that, they were fine. Thank God. Yeah, then unfortunately, I had to tell like why I was being late to like I was supposed to pick up this footage, and I was gone for like 2 hours. The place wasn't that far; it was like maybe 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
So they were wondering where I was at, so I had to tell them like, yeah, well, I had to go save someone. So then it became bigger. Then like they're like, oh, we're gonna do a story on it. I'm like, oh my God. Then the worst part is they assigned me to the story, so I had to edit my own self, which was very, very weird.
It is very strange. We've done it before though. We've edited ourselves.
We had to.
But it's kind of, yeah.
That type of story, I'm like.
But
okay.
in that context, it's kind of strange. Like most of the time we're editing ourselves, it's in like crazy short films where where it's actually me as the clown running.
Oh yeah, you should have been in the movie actually.
I should have been in the Joker.
Joker movie.
I don't know. We kind of did it before it was.
Yeah, I know we did do it before it was cool though.
Because we could sort of showed being rejected by society.
See, look at that. They stole our movie. Todd Phillips. We need some money.
Well, I mean, he kind of stole Taxi Driver.
It really was. It was Taxi Driver. It was like Taxi Driver, just comic book version of it.
Yeah. Cool. So I guess let's sort of dive into it here. We'll go spoiler free at first.
Okay.
And then at a certain point, we'll get a little deeper into it. But overall, I thought the movie was fucking great. Again, I do have like it's not a perfect movie. Like there's some things that are a little off about it, but I guess on first watch, because then on second watch, it kind of like you might be able to put some things together. Like for me, like all the things that I was like, all right, that doesn't make sense. Like that's kind of strange. You kind of figure out why later on. And the entire movie, you're kind of wondering what's real and what's not real the whole time as like a real thinker. So I don't know. What did you, just in general, what kind of did you think about it?
It definitely. I came in there. I thought it was going to be like an all right movie, and I left honestly. Like, I'm still debating right now to see it for a second time still, but it's in my like top. I'd say 5 or 6 superhero related or comic book related movies ever. Which means a lot to me because I rank these every other day.
Yeah.
But like I said, it surprised me in every single way, and like I was guessing honestly throughout the whole movie, which doesn't happen a lot. You can figure it out, but you have to be thinking so much during the movie. I'm like, man, it's like they just trick. Like that's what they get you, and everyone was complaining about Joker shouldn't have an origin, and they just played it so much better than I thought they ever could have. Okay, and at the end, you're still thinking, what the hell did I just watch?
Yeah, because you don't really know. Because like I think there's the quote from the Dark Knight or whatever, where it's like, oh, my backstory's multiple choice or something, whatever that's from. I mean, here
Killing Joke.
Oh, Killing Joke. Yeah. That's what I meant. Because we do get some of the Killing Joke in this because we see that he's a stand-up comedian and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, in this, we're still getting that it's multiple choice because we don't know what he's imagining and what really happened. And, like, there's fan theories online that the whole thing was in his head or the whole thing is just, like, a flashback from when he was younger.
And that's why he looks like the way he looks.
Yeah,
that's
why
he's inserting himself what he looks now. Because even then, he doesn't look like a 30-year-old man.
No, not even. I thought Phoenix was very, very good. I was not skeptical going in at all. I was like, all right, every role he does, he's really good, even if the movie is absolute shit. And that was the main thing I took away from this. I was like, all right, even if the movie sucks, like, he's going to be good. But the movie was good. So...
Yeah, getting that combination was very, very nice. Like I said, you can't... Again, like you just said, like, to reiterate what you just said, that everything he does, it's phenomenal. Like I said, even though in the movie, if it did suck, he would have done great. And he just, like... I couldn't even... At first, I really couldn't even recognize him. Because how much, like he lost a lot of weight for the role. And
oh, yeah.
it's like, man, he's dedicated. And Top Billups, I was watching the video. He said like he's not a method actor. He's just like he changes like he can change just instantly.
Yeah.
And you can see that. I'm like, definitely one of the best actors in our generation. Well, not my generation, but like in cinema, this cinema generation.
How do you feel about people sort of comparing him to Heath Ledger? Because like for me, like it's kind of like every iteration of the Joker is like so different from the last one. It's like it's kind of hard to compare him because like you're never gonna compare Mark Hamill with other people.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? But like this one, like I can kind of see like the similarities like with the makeup and stuff because like it's a normal guy in this. Like it's not like he's being dropped in acid or anything. I don't know. What do you just think about the compare? Because like for me, like it's kind of unfair, I guess, and like I don't even know which one is better, honestly. Like
that was my problem. That was my biggest thing. I watched Dark Knight the other day again, just to like I had to see. But yeah, comparing, it's like if it's like you just talked about, Joker is even in the comics right now. There's like there was confirmed to be 3 different Jokers, like alive going out throughout the whole DC universe because there's been so many different iterations of Joker. Like you've seen the clown, like the funny one is like likes to play pranks. Then you see the one that's a gangster,
right?
And you see the one that's a pure psychopath and an anarchist. And we've had all those different ones on screen too, and I guess this one was the closest I feel like, kind of in between a little bit, but more leaning towards the psychopathic and not even anarchist. He was more psychopath, yeah.
Yeah,
he wasn't even an anarchist. He didn't care about what was going on. He was having people notice him, but he didn't care why they were noticing him.
Yeah, he even says at some point, he's like, he doesn't care about the political movement or whatever. Because, like, Heath Ledger was very much the anarchist.
Yes.
And this is much more the psychopath.
Yeah, and personal vendetta. Like, that's why I say it's a little, they're all different. Mark Hamill's different. Even Jared Leto's different.
Jared Leto's very different.
Even his was gangster, but it was like a modern gangster, which I'm like, not really moved for it. Then like Cesar Romero's is the comedian, and Jack Nicholson was the gangster too, kind of.
Well, Jack Nicholson is just Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, that's really what it was. But in fact, I rewatched The Dark Knight, and if I had a gun to my head and had to choose, it'd probably be Heath, but like so little.
Yeah.
Like just more because I guess he like, for me, I don't know if it's not like Heath is definitely like the Joker. Like we know he's the Joker.
Right.
And honestly, when I left that movie, I don't know if he's the Joker or not, or he's just the inspiration to what ends up being the Joker.
Right, because that's sort of the main thing, is like this movie very obviously takes place in late 70s, early 80s-ish. And the whole movie is like shot in that style as well. It's very much the Taxi Driver style. And we see Bruce Wayne as like a little kid, and again, there's the fan theory that Joaquin Phoenix is just sort of imagining this, and maybe he's a little bit young. I mean, he's still obviously not a kid, but maybe he's not 45, as it's shown in this movie. So maybe this Joker is who inspires the actual Joker. Maybe it's Jared Leto's Joker. I mean, who knows if he's coming back or whatever.
Who knows anything?
Because at the end, we see like the riots, everyone in like the Joker get-ups and stuff, and then... Spoiler alert, but everyone sort of knows that this happens. Maybe not necessarily in the movie, but everyone knows Bruce Wayne's parents get shot down, and it's by one of the Joker's like followers.
Yeah, it was Joe Chill.
Joe Chill? Is that what it says?
Clown mask. That's what I swear I saw in the credits, but again, I have to rewatch it again.
Some people have said actually that maybe that scene was like a reshoot.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was a reshoot. I think it definitely was a reshoot.
Because if they would have planned it, wouldn't you have thought that Joker would have done it?
That's why I really wanted. That's why I thought it was gonna happen. That originally he was gonna kill. It was because it felt like it was building to that.
Right.
That's one thing that was my problem. Like I didn't get that satisfaction towards, I guess, Wayne, because like they're like going against each other through the movie. It was more again one-sided, but just the way he felt. And I guess I understand because he got, he took it out on other people.
Right.
But I guess I wanted that interaction with him being the Joker, and Wayne seeing him, because they never, after he became the Joker, their only time of interaction was when that one scene throughout the whole movie, and it wasn't, he was still going through his Again, we don't know if that's real. We don't know anything about really.
Yeah, we don't know anything.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. And I mean, I really like the movie. If you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely go see it, because I guess in order to really talk about a lot of the stuff, we kind of have to like give stuff away. I guess before we get too into spoil, how does this movie sort of, because I haven't seen every DC movie or Marvel movie, how does this one sort of compare? I know this one's sort of like a standalone film, like Joaquin Phoenix is basically not coming back ever, but as far as like other movies that are coming out today, like I thought this was very good, even as not taking the comic book aspect out of it. Like it still works as like a thriller crime movie, you know what I mean? But how does it sort of compare? Because like I saw Endgame, obviously, but I haven't seen any of the DC movies. So,
I've seen everything.
Well, I saw Suicide Squad, but as far as like Man of Steel and the Batman's the new one,
Yeah,
but
Batman's the new
Batman
one.
versus Superman and stuff like that, I haven't seen those. So
Just shout out to Justice League being one of the worst superhero movies I've seen in my life. And I love DC. Love it. I love it more than Marvel by a long shot. But comparing, I feel like it's just definitely a game changer. Like overall, like everything, there's been a generational thing. Every single what changed the direction of superhero movies. Dark Knight was what made honestly DC movies more dark. Dark Knight did in 2008. That's why we got the Man of Steel we got, which I still love. Something has always changed. Like I think it's going to be a game changer. I think we're going to have a lot more movies like Joker that are going to be standalone, that are just going to be related to the villains. Like I want a Lex Luthor movie now. Like I would never say it as long as Jesse Eisenberg is in it. But I want a Lex Luthor movie. I want a Deathstroke Slade movie. I want that style of movie every single time. And I would take a standalone, not related to any universe. If it's just like that, I'll take it every time. But there's always game changers. Like Avengers it changed how Marvel made movies after that, really. Because if you watch the first phase compared to all the other phases, it is trash. I'm sorry. Iron Man was the only good movie in that phase. Thor sucked. Captain America sucked. Iron Man sucked. Or not Iron Man, my bad. Iron Man 2 sucked. Incredible Hulk sucked. Literally all those movies just sucked, to be honest. Don't fight me on it. They just sucked. But after Avengers, which again was pretty average still to me too. But again, it was a game changer.
here was the thing with Avengers to me, because I hadn't seen most of the Marvel films leading up to that, but I saw Avengers and everyone was talking about, oh, all these heroes are coming together. It's going to be like a super crazy, like big adventure story and stuff. And like I knew who the characters like were, obviously. I mean, I was a kid in the 90s, but you like watch the movie and like half the time they're like on this spaceship. It just felt very small to me, and I was like, what is the big deal with this movie? You know?
But again, it changed because it was significant. It was such a cultural significant thing that it changed the way Marvel made movies. It changed so bad that people hated any related DC movie how they did anything. Again, outside of Suicide Squad, Batman vs Superman, and Justice League, I really liked and loved every other DC movie. Shazam was the definition of Shazam, if you know anything about Shazam. Wonder Woman, like that was Wonder Woman. Like if you read these comic books, they're exactly like the characters. Man of Steel was definitely a different take. It was more on like Earth One comics, but it was a different take. It was like how would Superman relate to the rest of this, like a real life. That's why I guess I get to DC more than Marvel. I lean on more that because it's a real world reaction. Outside of like Captain America movies, like the first one and the second one, that's like real world. I feel like what would happen in the real world.
Right.
If we saw a real Superman coming down here, the government's going crazy. Everything's going crazy. And that's what happens in those movies. That's why I like those movies. In this movie, again, with Joker, I feel like that would happen too. If someone was doing all this, it's how the world will like react. Like I feel like we're like so close to just the world just exploding if anything superhero related actually happened. People losing their minds. That's how you think. That's why I guess I do like X-Men too, because, and now I'm honestly afraid what Marvel's gonna do with them. I'm happy they got Fantastic Four. I just don't really like they got the X-Men. Even those movies have been hit and miss too. But and again, X-Men, like, what would happen if mutants came out of nowhere? People would. That's evolution. Like they didn't even talk about it. It's evolution. So it's like I like the more real world reaction and how we would adjust to society then compared to like Avengers. Like I love it still. I loved Endgame. I love Infinity War. I loved all that. But it's it's just a different type of style. And I think Joker, going back to the Joker, it's going to change the game, at least for DC.
Right, and I think that like Batman has sort of always had the advantage with that because all of those stories are more or less grounded in reality. Like you see very little supernatural stuff in there.
Unless he's with the Justice League, it's going to be pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward there. Yeah, I guess let's just sort of talk about the movie a little bit. And sort of dissect sort of what's going on. Why don't you start things off and then I'll sort of feed off because you seem very passionate about this.
I love this movie, man. I love this.
So
movie.
why don't you start us off here?
Are we doing spoilers now? Or?
Yeah, we can talk about spoilers. Yeah.
Well, first, I love the pacing. Honestly, I love the pacing of. I like that slow. I'm just me. I love slow build movies. I love feeling. I felt every single from the first scene of that movie. And you see him in the mirror putting the mask on or putting his face paint on, and like you see that one tear coming down, like with the paint, and you just see already from the pain, like he just like we even like said one line yet, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm already in love with this movie.
Yeah.
But it was I love seeing his descent to madness. Like, you see, again, this movie touches on mental illness. It touches on classism. It touches on a lot of things. And it actually infuriates me that some people are just focusing on, like, dumb shit, to be honest.
The violence?
Violence, which is barely any.
Okay,
there's not a lot of violence.
All right, so here's the thing. So we're seeing online all the time, even, like, months and months leading up to this movie, that this movie is going to destroy the world, basically. That it's super violent, that it's going to inspire, mass shootings, serial killers, stuff like that. And I don't know, just to me, like, these people, like, are completely insane. Like, sure, I'm sure there's some people who, but that's the mental illness aspect of it.
Again, that's the whole point, I guess, this whole movie.
And it has nothing to do with the film or the art itself. It has to do with psychological issues, And
there are probably maybe, that first scene he kills the people in the subway, him killing the TV host. Outside of that, was there any crazy violence?
No, there wasn't.
Oh, and him killing his coworker was hell. That's the peak Joker moment, which I will get to.
That's my favorite scene of the movie.
Same here. That's my favorite scene. That was the definition of it. That was probably the most Joker scene I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
But Endgame's more violent.
Yes,
I mean, there's not
100%.
There's not more blood. I mean, Deadpool. Like, people aren't having like super outrage about the Deadpool movies.
I just saw John Wick kill somebody with a pencil. So don't tell me about violence. And I understand, I understand to the point why some of these people are upset because of the Dark Knight shooting and those like a lot of those parents. I'm like, Joker was just in a fucking movie 3 years ago. You weren't complaining now.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, man. Don't pick and choose the stuff that you want to. I understand why these people are upset and it hurts them. It's like a trigger thing with them. But Suicide Squad was more. I mean, this was one of the least violent superhero movies I've ever seen. Yeah. Again, when it got violent, it did get violent.
Right, but it's just those few scenes.
It's just those few scenes that you see that are really violent, and it's just it's far and in between. You're talking about maybe, the movie's 2 hours. You're talking about maybe, not even, 6-7 minutes of violence. And most of it, again, like I said, why I liked it, because it's such a build-up. You see him going, him... God, you go. I'm sorry. I just got... Oh, my God.
And, literally, Rambo came out last week. People aren't going crazy about that.
I know. People will pick and choose. I dislike. That's why I'm more disliked about the movie. But again, going back to the actual movie, is that seeing his descent into madness and him starting him trying to take care of his mother. It's like everything slowly around him. Guess what? I knew. Okay, I'm mad about this. I'm mad about this movie. Ain't no damn way in the hell that man is getting Zazie. What's her last name? Beats? No.
Joker?
Yeah. That's why I knew. That was the thing for me. I'm like, yeah, this is fake.
Yeah, because here's the thing. It sort of comes out. So, basically, we see Arthur go on the subway. He murders the 3 guys who are essentially rapists. I mean, they didn't get the chance to do it yet. But
they were, it was like they were not good people.
Yeah, so he murders them, and he still has, euphoric moment where he's like, yeah, I did some fucked up shit, but it kind of felt good.
Yeah, he goes in the mirror, goes in the bathroom, which is God, that scene was shot very well. I mean, most of the shit was shot very well. That scene was very well.
The first thing he does, he goes to the apartment of this girl that we saw like briefly in an elevator scene. He just like knocks on the door, and we can presume that they just had sex right then because they start making out or whatever, and they go on a few dates. She's in the hospital with him with his mom, and she goes to like his comedy stuff. And the entire time you're thinking, like, hey, this girl's way out of his league. There's no development in this at all. And at first, like, you might be thinking, like, okay, this is either just, like, lazy writing or it's kind of rushed or, like, an afterthought. But then you get the sort of, oh, fuck moment, which I didn't see coming because I thought it was just lazy storytelling. We get, like, the oh, fuck moment where I forget what he does, but somehow he ends up back in her apartment after something bad that he did or something traumatic, and she just kind of walks out, and she was like, who are you? What are you doing in my apartment? And you're like, oh, like he imagined that whole thing.
He imagined that, and then it makes you question what hasn't he imagined. Then he puts himself in a fridge.
Yeah, he does put himself in a fridge. I forgot about that.
So I'm saying, I don't know. That's when I started to get like question. I mean, I thought at the beginning because she just looks too good for him. That's why I was getting jealous. But after that scene, I'm like, I'm pretty sure he killed her too.
Yeah, because you hear like police sirens.
Yeah, you hear
shortly
police sirens.
later.
Like, he just didn't want to show that. But
yeah,
after that scene, I was like, what is going on? What's real? What isn't real? Like, and again, it helps when his mom too. When you find out that his mom, at some point, she says that. Well, he finds out that Thomas Wayne is his father.
Supposedly.
So when he goes try to confront him, doesn't really get the chance until later during the movie, but Alfred, like, he bitches Alfred somehow. I don't know how that happens, but then you get that scene with him and Lil Wayne, Lil Bruce, and is Bruce just so... That boy had no emotions through that whole movie. I'm like, when his parents died, he had the same expression when he
was just standing there.
So I'm like, did he care?
Yeah.
But then, like, you find out that when he does confront Thomas Wayne, and he says that your mom's fucking insane, bro, pretty much. And no.
But here's the thing, like, you can even question... Did that even did he even meet Thomas Wayne? Could he imagine that whole thing? Because I think like the next scene, he's just like standing in his apartment, like shirtless, just like standing there. It's like, okay, is he just picturing what he would do if he saw him? Man. And like they kind of make Thomas Wayne out to be like a dick too. Yeah. So like I don't know.
He's Donald Trump.
Yeah, basically. He's the Donald.
He's like, all you poor people are clowns. Stop being poor.
Yeah, basically.
That's what he was throughout the whole movie.
Because here's the thing. Because like once that moment happens where you realize that the girlfriend was not actually his girlfriend, like there's other things in the movie that you can speculate. Did that really happen how we saw it or not? Because like we don't. Did the coworker actually give him the gun? Yeah. Because in like a later scene when he was like, oh, what's his face gave me the gun. He's like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about? Which is what anyone would say.
But also through this movie, you don't know if it's actually real or not. Did he just imagine? Did he already have that gun? Was he? That's the whole point of this movie. It fucks with your mind because even then, if it wasn't, he still could be somehow, which I hope not, Thomas Wayne's son. Like he could be.
Yeah, that was a little strange.
They could easily forge a birth certificate. They could easily do any of that.
Yeah, I mean Thomas
Wayne's the most powerful person in Gotham.
Yeah, he could have forged the medical records that says like, oh, she was institutionalized and he was like strung up to the radiator from abuse.
That part is probably true.
Yeah,
that probably makes a little more sense. But even then, you just question everything throughout the movie. Even the second time I'm going to watch this, I'm probably going to watch it probably Thursday or Friday again, and I'm going to question everything. I'm like, what's real, what isn't? I just want Todd Phillips to fucking tell me.
One thing that I saw online that people were like talking about, and none of these people had watched it a second time, but people say when they do watch it the second time, they want to see if they can find like the sign that the kids like supposedly like beat him up and like stole and stuff. They want to see if they can like find it like in his apartment or something to see if he imagined that.
Imagine that.
Because like his boss is like, come on, you stole the sign.
Yeah, like, come on, bro. Like he was like really like, bro, you stole the sign.
But why would he steal the sign? Like I don't.
Because the Joker. I don't know. That man's fucking crazy. Then I want to talk about. Oh, him like not lighting. It's apparently some points in the movie which I have to watch again that he doesn't even light his cigarette. He just has it in his mouth, thinking he's smoking.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
So I'm gonna look for that. I don't know if that's true or not. But that would just again prove that this man is hallucinating a lot of the shit's happening.
Yeah. Like, I mean, right at the beginning of the film, we know he's hallucinating, but right then we know it's a hallucination.
Yeah, we knew it was
because that's when he was on the talk show or whatever. It's like, okay, obviously he's
on a couch, he's sitting like, it's not. Then I guess not get out the movie. It's my biggest problem. People are like, this is like emphasizing with like school shooters and blah 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 and shit like that. And I'm like, I understand people's emotions and stuff like that, and it hurts and sucks. But if you actually watch this movie, I'm watching some of these reviews. Some people walked in there not liking the movie before they even saw it.
Right.
I read some of these reviews. They're like, this emphasizes like I don't know what word they're using. Pretty much for white males.
White
I don't
males.
know. I don't know. Pretty much, it was like you're emphasizing with time. Like it wasn't. You're not supposed to like him.
Right.
The whole movie, you're not supposed to like. You're like, okay, like it's the whole point. You see his descent to madness. Like, okay, like they're cutting funding. He can't take his medicine. Like, but then at a point, like you get to the point after I don't say what scene where I'm like, yeah, you're just a bad person. Like you can't do this no matter what. There's no excuse for it. And I think it was more towards even then, like he stalks a woman in the beginning of the fucking movie. What do you think about this person? Like, come on. It's like throughout the movie, it gives you signs to not like him. He kills multiple people. He stalks a woman, then kills her potentially. Like, that's when he was still taking his medicine when he stalked her. So
he was, yeah.
So like throughout this movie, it's like it tells you not to like this person. But you can like someone, like you can like a movie, and dislike the character as a person. He's a great character. That was a great character.
Yeah,
study.
I mean, yeah,
like,
you love the character, but he does fucked up things.
He just fucked up things.
But yeah, and I mean, like, it sort of, like, I don't even think it's, like, glorifying, because people say, oh, it's glorifying the violence, it's glorifying what the Joker does, the Joker's awesome and stuff. Literally, like, there's a point in the movie where the funding gets cut for, like, the mental health, and it's obviously, like, a big issue in the world today. Yeah, so, like, it's kind of saying, like, hey, we kind of need to address this, because we don't know who's going to be out there doing crazy shit, you know?
And it's like you're showing the problems we have even today, back then. It's still like,
right.
It haven't developed as much. Mental illness was even, you think they give a shit about it now? They really didn't give a shit about it back then.
Yeah.
And again, that's like I'm saying, the other points of this movie, classism, and again, the mental health are the two biggest other things that I was thinking throughout the whole time I was watching it. And about rich getting richer and everyone's like suffering because of the rich and stuff like that. And you got, again, mental health. It's not being, like, it's important. And even then, like, he was still, which we never actually got that. Like, when was he in the, because like, first scene, like, he was talking to, I question everything. When he's talking to the social worker. It's like, right. You never listened to me. And, like, you see that one scene of him being in the hospital, like, for 2 seconds before.
Right.
So I'm like, what's going on? Just tell me, Todd.
Do you think he actually has a condition, or that's something that maybe his mother made up?
To laugh?
Yeah.
I don't even know. I really say I don't know.
Because at one point we do see him sort of fake it when like a coworker like makes an inappropriate joke and he is like in the trailers and stuff and he's like laughing and then all of a sudden he stops. So we have seen him fake it in the past. And who knows, maybe he does have a condition but it's not as severe as it is. Yeah. Or he could be just faking it the whole time.
Or just insane because he's the
completely
Joker.
Insane, yeah.
That's the whole point of it. That's why I love this movie. It makes you, I'm still thinking about it every single day since.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not like I saw Endgame and like it was a lot of fun, but like it wasn't like I'm gonna be thinking about this.
I'm gonna be thinking about exactly what happened. Again, I think about that last scene, Captain America grabbing the hammer, shit like that. But like, I'm not thinking about this movie. Like, again, I hate to say like, I mean, I don't want to dog, even I love superhero movies, but like, as Scorsese says, it's cinema. Like, it's like, okay, I disagree with that. It is cinema, but it's just like amusement park cinema. It's the same roller coaster. It's the same thing over and over. It doesn't make me think about shit. It doesn't. Outside of like maybe Winter Soldier, that's not even that. That's the closest I've gotten, honestly. And I guess throughout the whole story of the 20 plus movies, it tells you about, it's more a story about Iron Man being a dick and growing to be a better person after he's fucking like probably like 30 when the movies or near 40 when the movie starts. Like, oh, you don't become a dick after 10 years and you're not a dick anymore. Good job. I'm glad you're a decent person now. Yeah. But it's no real message in any of those movies. that's why I liked, again, that's why I really liked Man of Steel. That's why I really liked certain, that's probably the only one that I can think of. I mean, Watchmen, obviously. But those movies don't convey the messages like Joker does. Like, these darker, more set in world movies.
Yeah, because I mean, like, even, because, like, really, like, this movie didn't even have to be about the Joker.
No.
It could have just been, like, any other crime thriller or whatever. I mean, the Joker is the character, but I mean, you could see, taking the comic book aspect out of it, and it's just Joaquin Phoenix going insane, it would still work as a movie. And I think that's the important thing.
You can literally change this setting to Gotham, New York City, name the Joker something totally different, and you still get the same movie.
Yeah, because, like, that's the thing
You get the same movie.
Yeah. So, that's what I like about it. What else did you like? So, do you want to talk
about dislikes? I'm trying to think.
There's very few dislikes.
I know, it is very few dislikes that for me.
Because, like,
very rare.
Because the dislikes I had in the movie, they got rectified within its own movie. Because I was like, all right, well,
lazy writing. Oh wait.
Because, like, the main thing, like, I wasn't too keen on the idea of Joker and Bruce Wayne being half brothers.
Yeah.
And it was a little strange. And I mean, like, again, there's the whole this was a hallucination thing. But I was thinking, like, how the fuck is his mom, like, in her 60s, 70s, Thomas Wayne and Joker look about the same age?
That's the same age.
So I was like, how does that make any sense? So, like, but then it gets rectified because you're like, no, this bitch was just crazy.
Yeah, what else did I like?
I mean, that's an interesting idea. Like, I could see them doing that in, like, a comic book as, like, an offshoot or something where they're...
I think that's not where we're getting any continuation of this, by the way.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's, again, honestly, it's like I said, that's like a 9 point, like, I have to see it again, obviously, but, like, my first viewing was like a 9.8, honestly, out of 10. Like, my little things I don't like about the movie is, I guess, like I said, I want to see Joker and it's more personal thing. Like, I want to see Joker interact with Thomas Wayne after he became, like, the Joker.
Right.
I mean, and I want him to kill them too.
Right.
Not the random guy.
Well, he did it indirectly.
Yeah, so he still did
it.
He's,
but, like, you know.
That's the only thing I keep thinking about. I'm like, outside of that, great acting, great cinematography, great directing, great literally everything. The set pieces were great. I mean, just everything from the technical aspect to the acting aspect. It was great.
And just for me, like, as someone who makes films and stuff, it's very hard for me to watch a movie without being able to think, like, oh, we're looking at a dolly shot, like, we're doing that. It's very hard for me to, like, watch a movie and enjoy it and, like, just be, like, in the moment. And that's how I was in this movie. Like, I'm never thinking about, like, how they made it and stuff like that. Because, like, my mind isn't wandering. My mind is, like, focused on what's going on, you know?
That's very rare. It is hard. It is very hard. I'm like, it's cool that none of us was shot on green screen.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I felt like, man, I can't wait to see this movie again.
Yeah. So I guess we have the same favorite scene.
No.
We didn't plan it out. We didn't plan it out that way. But I think that, like, that's one of the best Joker moments ever.
That's definitely one of the best Joker moments.
So this is after his mother has passed, and
he suffocates her.
Yeah, he suffocates her. And he's in the apartment, and a couple of his old coworkers. He's been fired since then, but a couple of his old coworkers come in, and they try to, like, console him. I don't know if they, like, bring him anything or whatever.
Yeah, they try to bring him they brought him some liquor.
Yeah, they brought him some liquor, and basically he kills the big guy, and one of the other guys is, like, a little person, like a midget. I mean, they're clowns. So he kills the one guy, and he, like, brutally, like, kills this one guy. Like, this is one of the violent scenes in the film. And then he's just kind of sitting on the ground, and then the little guy's crying in the corner, and Joker basically looks at him, and he's like, you know, you're all right. You're
all right. And you think he's going to, you don't know if he's going to kill him or not going to kill him. And yeah, he tells him, like, yeah, you can go. Like, you were never mean to me, like, ever. So, like, you can go.
And then he walks over to the door, and the door is locked, like, from the latch, and this guy can't reach it.
Oh my God. He just looks at it. It's not like, oh, he's definitely about to kill him. He's definitely about to. He goes up to him. He just unlocks the door.
He just unlocks the door. I think he gives him a kiss on the head.
A kiss on the head.
He's like, all right, be on your way.
All right, see you, man. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're like, what did I just... Because, like, that moment, like... Again, as a filmmaker, it's, like, hard to, like, really build suspense for me. Like, that moment, I was like, fuck.
Like, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? What is he gonna do?
Yeah.
Because you just see him violently. Not like... He was dead already at some point. He was still just hitting him. I don't know, he's smashing his head against the wall. Again, this is the guy actually getting who maybe gave him the gun. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe gave him the gun, maybe not. Yeah.
And but it's that scene is like that's essential Joker. Like you don't know what this man. That's why they got this character so right. You don't know what he's going to do. That's the whole point of his whole character. I didn't know what he was going to do in that moment. I'm like, is he going to kill him or not kill him? Is he going to kill him or not kill him? Is he going to do it brutal? Like, what's he going to do? And you have to let him go.
Yeah.
Which is something Joker would do.
Yeah, totally.
And either way, both things he would do. Because it's for himself and it makes himself laugh.
Yeah. He thinks it's funny, yeah. The other controversial scene in this is when he goes on the talk show. And, like, leading up to this point, it's sort of shown that Robert De Niro's character is, like, he's sort of like the Jay Leno guy on, like, this talk show. And basically it's the Joker's hero. He watches the show every night. That's who he wants to be. He wants to be, like, a talk show host, comedian, just like this guy. And he had the fantasy about him that he's like, oh, I see you as a son, blah, 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 like all this, like, shit. And basically, the Joker finally gets his chance to do stand-up. And he can't get through the first joke because he's just laughing at his own jokes and stuff before he even says it. So the clips of this surface on the talk show, and the talk show host is basically like, oh, take a look at this idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's sort of like a heartbreaking moment. And then he finally gets asked to be on the talk show because these clips have gone, not viral at the time because, I mean, there's no internet, but these clips have become, like, so popular that he gets asked on the show. He's preparing for it. He's like, there's sort of like the grand thing where you're supposed to think where he's going to kill himself on live TV because he's sort of doing like rehearsals in his apartment where he's like pretending to shoot himself and stuff, which is a really good scene. Like that. That's
like, what was it? He had the joke that said, I hope my life makes more sense.
I hope my death makes more sense than my life.
Yes.
So you're thinking that he's going to kill himself on TV. But then when he gets to the show, the Robert De Niro is literally still making fun of him on air before he like walks out. And there's like a shot of him like smoking a cigarette. And like I think it's like in that moment where he decides he's like, fuck it. Well, I'm probably gonna go down at some point, but I'm gonna take this motherfucker down with me.
You can see his whole demeanor change as he goes on the show. He get another Joker. Just again, the second most Jokerish moment. He kisses the lady that was already on the show,
which does happen in the comics. He kisses like someone, yeah.
Oh, again, I thought he was gonna that whole moment because again, Joker stuff. Like I don't know if he's gonna kill everyone in that whole room somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen.
And he starts making fun of him, and he's just like he says fuck it, and he admits to the murders.
Yeah, he admits to the murders on TV. He says basically everyone sucks, and he starts telling off Robert De Niro, and then eventually shoots him in the head. Yeah, shoots him like straight through the face,
live
basically.
TV.
Yeah, and you see it. I mean, that's what a lot of people are doing controversy about it. But again, it's not more violent than what a lot of people saw in Rambo last week. So
or in John Wick 3.
Or in John Wick 3.
Any John Wick movies, to be honest. But,
yeah.
Then again, people were talking about. That's why some people were talking about. Did this even fucking happen? Or did like then because but I'm like I think because we saw it on TV, it took a shot out of it from a different perspective.
Right.
So I believe, but again, it could still be in his fucking head. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Then he gets arrested. Then someone crashes the car to get him out.
Right.
Then he's like, they take his car like he's fucking Jesus. Like, get him out the car.
Yeah,
they lay him on the car. And there's like all these Joker. Again, this is anarchy right now. Like exactly what Joker. And again, not that this Joker would want, but just Joker overall.
The essence of the Joker.
Anarchy. And it was people were like breaking shit. There was fires everywhere, and eventually, he kind of wakes up and he's like bleeding everywhere, and like everyone's just cheering for him.
Yeah.
And that moment, I love that moment when he gets his own blood.
Oh,
he finally makes that smile that the Joker has.
Yeah.
Like Joker always has a smile like somewhere in his face.
Right.
So like either through his makeup, or that's the only thing I was missing. I'm like, it took me a while. Like, I don't know what's missing. And it was like the smile. Yeah, he always has a painted smile on himself.
Yeah.
And like, you know, Heath Ledger's was just like actual scars.
Yeah. Like the makeup to me was always a little bit off.
Yeah.
Like when I saw the trailers and stuff. But again, when it does the blood, it kind of completes the picture. But honestly, like I thought that like the scariest makeup he ever had was in the scene where he kills his coworker and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just white.
It's just white. Yep. It's literally just white. I'm like, oh my god, this is a fucking serial killer.
It's terrifying. But yeah, I don't know. Like, do you think? Oh, he's obviously gonna get a nomination, but is this an Oscar-worthy performance here?
No, when the other nominations come out, I always watch the movies that are nominated.
Right.
So I don't know yet, but like,
Because like I haven't seen anything that's like Oscar-worthy this year.
Yeah,
like,
I haven't either, to be honest. This is the first one.
Well, for me, I guess is the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's gonna.
Oh yeah, duh. Oh,
gonna
yeah, I forgot
get
about that. Yeah,
nominated
that's
for a bunch of. I don't know if Joaquin Phoenix is a Rick fucking Dalton.
Rick fucking Dalton.
But,
God, Rick fucking Dalton. But I just like it's gonna be it's for main roles. I wonder if Rick Dalton. I don't know if you could put him as supporting or would you put him as because they were both in the movie honestly about the same amount of time.
They were about the same time, but it's Leo's the lead and Brad Pitt's secondary.
So hopefully, okay, he's definitely gonna win. So I feel
all right, hold on. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the ending of this movie was more violent than Joker.
Oh yes, by a long mile. That's what we talking about. No one's talking about. Well, they do talk about it a little bit.
They talk about Tarantino. Yeah,
it's when Quentin Tarantino. They're going to talk about it, but not until the extreme what was going on. No one's trying to like ban his movie and trying.
No one's
protesting this movie.
Yeah, no one says Quentin Tarantino is going to inspire violence. They're just like they're just like he's nuts.
Like, if you've seen this movie or not, spoiler alert. That last scene, because you know it's all the Manson murders, and these people go into Rick Dalton's house. Not Rick Dalton. I don't remember the main character's name anymore. I keep thinking about Rick Dalton. Wait, it's Rick. Yeah,
it's Rick Dalton.
What's his friend's name?
Cliff Booth.
Cliff Booth. Yeah.
But Cliff's there.
Cliff is so fucking high out his damn mind, but beats the living. I say him and his dog beat the living shit out of these three people. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, you don't even see it. Like, I mean, dogs biting off nuts, people getting her head smashed. He smashes a girl head in more than Joker did to that guy.
Yeah.
He smashed it in. I don't know. I'm like, oh my God, stop. Please stop.
Yeah.
Then literally Rick fucking Dalton. This girl's already getting fucked up. She's like hitting the eye. She goes in the pool. She's like shooting a gun, and Rick's like, he gets up like, or what? I don't know what he was like. He's in a pool chilling.
No, he was unaware to any of this
going on.
He's in the pool like on like a big like floating chair with headphones on, fucking jamming out.
Wow, fucking Cliff Booth is knocking the shit out of people. Then one of them people get out and it's like she can't see anymore. That's how bad she got fucked up by the dog and Cliff. And she can't see, she's bleeding everywhere. She just has the gun still and just shooting it off. Then he's like, what the fuck? So then he goes and gets a flamethrower and burns her alive.
Yeah.
So don't tell me Joker is violent when I saw that. But yeah, getting back to that, those two movies are the only two that I can think of.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head. But again, I'll see the rest that are nominated, obviously. I normally do that.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the best performances I've seen. It's hard because, like, it's so different than anything in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, it's hard to, like, compare their performance.
They both did the job they were supposed to do. And that's what makes it go back to, like, Leonardo was one of the first people who were considered to be the Joker, and I can't imagine him doing this.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
I can't go back. Now, I can't imagine... I can imagine Joaquin Phoenix nailing this role.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't know. Was there any other thoughts you had about... I mean, we covered a lot.
Yeah,
was there any other things about the movie that we haven't discussed, really? It's hard because, like... It's not like there's really, like, side stories going on or, like, other characters. He's in every scene.
Yeah, he is in every scene. I'm trying to think. Was there... Yeah, I don't think there was not one scene of him not in it. Except... probably just the one that Bruce Wayne's parents dies.
Yeah, that's the only
That's probably the scene I can think of.
That's why I think it was a reshoot, because that's the only time we don't see
him, like, directly involved in it. You know, he's indirectly involved, but he's not, like, in the scene.
Yeah.
So that's the one I can really think of. Yeah, I might have to rewatch it, but I can't think of on top of my head.
Do you think that he because, like, the ending is, like, I don't want to say, like, sort of ambiguous, but, like, do you think he, like, killed that therapist he's talking to at the hospital, or like
that's the whole point. Like we talked about earlier. Like there's no way. That's why I think it's like he's at least 40. You at least 40.
At least, yeah.
And again, from what we've seen through the movie, like he is 30 maybe at most. I was trying to see his birth certificate, see what year it said, but I couldn't.
Yeah, but then again, we don't know what year it takes.
Yeah, no,
place.
that's the whole point. That's what I guess I really want to get to that point. People were complaining about Joker having an origin story. He doesn't have an origin. And that's the whole point. You find out he's adopted, and you find out that could be fake. You don't know if this is fake or not. You don't know his real parents. You don't know his real name. You don't know any. He doesn't know his real name. Like, because if it is true that he's adopted, and we don't know his parents. We don't know
what age he was.
He doesn't know how old he is. We don't know how age was he adopted. We don't know anything about him. We just know the way he was raised, maybe, and that's it. That's still we don't know. So it falls in true with the Joker doesn't have an origin story, and he has multiple choice.
Right.
That's what it is. It's multiple. It's still multiple choice. You can choose to believe he wasn't adopted, and he is Wayne. He's either someone else's son or Thomas Wayne's son. You can believe that he was just adopted completely and doesn't have any background. You can believe any of that. That's the whole point of Joker, is having a multiple choice.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing with the Joker, having choices.
Yeah, they went into it. I mean, it's a big character. I mean, you have to go into it, but they kept it mysterious enough where I don't have a problem with it. And I think this was as good as a Joker origin story that I think we could have possibly got.
Yep.
We've gotten the Killing Joke in the past and stuff.
And even then, he says, that's multiple choice. I don't know if I'm even telling you the truth right now. I don't know if I'm telling the truth.
Because mainly he's just telling the story to, like, fuck with him.
Yeah, he tells shit to just fuck with people. That's what his whole thing.
And plus, I mean, that movie was kind of balls. I mean, the graphic novel's good, but the movie, they crammed too much into it.
The graphic novel, or movie version, they just should have took all the Batgirl stuff out. I understand what they were trying to do and make you feel bad, because there's no, like, build. Like, if you read, if you're reading, I feel like they should have. We already knew who Batgirl was. If you're watching this most of the time, you already know what happens. But like, we didn't need that build up. They were trying to make Barbara's character more than it was.
Right, and again, they're trying to fill out like a feature length film out of a graphic novel that's not that long.
No, it's not that long.
Like this movie could have been a half hour, 45 minutes maybe.
I liked all the Killing Jokes. That second half of the movie, I really, really liked.
Yeah, it was just the bat sex.
Yeah, the bat sex. Batman's always fucking something like that.
Yeah.
At least it's actually not worse than that. People actually don't know if the DC animated, like, the Justice League.
Yeah.
That Batman's a piece of shit. He's a piece. I know this is so out of what we're talking about, but that Batman, I should get this off. That Batman's a piece of shit. Who did he fuck? He fucked Lois. He fucked what's her name? Yeah.
Lois Lane.
Yeah, Lois Lane. While back, like I remember when that little Batman crossover episode back, and she's like, she ends up breaking up with him because she found out he's Batman. Fucked Wonder Woman. Fucked Talia al Ghul. Fucked Batgirl and got her pregnant after Dick left. Got her pregnant. Then she loses the baby. That happens in a comic, but like
I've never heard of any of this.
The tie-in comic. Yeah. That man is a piece of shit. That's why he ends up being by himself in Batman Beyond, because everyone fucking hates him because he's a piece of shit. Anyway, and yeah, I mean, I think it was a really cool idea to really not have Batman in this at all. Oh yes, great.
I mean, they obviously had to tie it in somehow, but that's why I think that like the murder scene might have been a reshoot, because it doesn't really fit in with everything else. I think that they just anticipated, he's gonna meet him as a kid and do some weird shit, and then it sort of like triggers him a little bit. I mean, the actor does not show.
Did he? I don't know if it triggered him or not, because that boy
that's what I was gonna say.
That's probably what I didn't like about the movie. That boy showed no emotion. He's like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Yeah.
Most of that movie. He was only in a scene. He was like in a walking scene, like from the news, I feel like, or something. He was in obviously the scene where Arthur goes to go at the Wayne Manor, and there's the one that his parents get killed. In all three of those scenes, his face is so monotone, and he just seemed like, someone please kill my parents. That's what I felt like. I'm like, he just had no emotion through it. I'm like, man, I guess that was the point. But this is how. Again, this is potentially how Joker remembers it. So,
right.
And it goes back to all that. It's like you have to question every scene of this whole entire movie.
Cool. I mean, yeah. I mean, we covered a lot about. Is there anything else about Joker?
Go see it. It's top 5, honestly. Like, it's just, if it wasn't a superhero movie or comic book related movie, it'd still be a good movie.
Right. And
that's why it's Oscar level, I feel like.
I think that's the key to it. Okay, so I guess moving off of Joker a little bit, how do you feel about, because you're like the big comic, like out of everyone I know that's like into like comic books and stuff, you're one of the most people I know that's into it. So how do you feel kind of the direction that DC is going to go with the movies from here on out with Robert Pattinson and stuff?
I feel I'm going to leave I guess I have to see it first more than that.
Because here's the thing, like,
it's like for me, I guess just the whole DC thing is like, they either should have just kept with Zack Snyder's vision or just let it fucking go. Which they did. Like, that's why I call it Justice League, because of Josh Whedon. Those two combinations, watching that movie was just a clusterfuck, because you just see both directors' styles.
Fighting.
And it's like they're fighting who's controlling the movie. It's either either a Josh Whedon movie or a Zack Snyder movie, not a both. And unfortunately, a tragedy happened that it had to be that way in the first place. But... So
are they scrapping everything, or like what's
I don't know. It's like no one knows what. I was like, no one knows what's going on. That's why I'm glad this movie came out, because I don't know the timeline anymore. Honestly, like, still, Henry Cavill might not come back as Superman. Obviously, Ben Affleck has one movie left technically. Even if it's a cameo appearance, he has to be in a movie. He's not contracted to. We don't know what that's going to be. That could be during, because again, this Patterson Twilight Boy. He's acting in some good movies, though.
I was gonna say, because like
I watched one after Dog in the Shot. I watched what movie it was. He did a really good fucking job.
And he's gonna, because like basically he fucking hates the Twilight movies too.
Yeah, so we're all.
But I mean, everyone's got to do what they got to do.
Yeah, you gotta make.
But
money.
he's been in some good stuff, and he's gonna be in that. I think the movie comes out in 2 weeks. It's called like The Lighthouse. It's like a horror film, which I really want to fucking go see. But yeah, I mean, he can do other things. I really didn't think he was that bad of a choice for Batman.
At first I was like just being an asshole, like I usually am. But I mean, everyone's I've questioned Ben Affleck, and I think Ben Affleck's by far my favorite Batman, like the most accurate Batman, even though without him, him killing some people.
Yeah.
But like, I want just rewatch. I want anyone to just rewatch the fighting scenes between Ben Affleck's fighting scenes and watch Christian Bale's fighting scenes. And you will see how bad that shit is. Dark Knight, again, I think Dark Knight Rises is fucking trash.
Oh yeah, the third movie is really bad.
Shit. Begins and Dark Knight Begins are really good. Batman Begins and Dark Knight is really good. But every single one of those movies, you think about the villain. You don't talk about Batman. You talk about Ra's al Ghul from Begins. You talk about Joker, and you talk about Bane. No one quotes Batman. Oh, Batman. Like, he's horrible. I don't care.
Yeah,
fuck Christian Bale. It was fucking bad Batman. But I think they're still. That's why I guess I kind of like DC more. Again, now they are like, since outside of Aquaman, which I still liked actually, but that was more of a director character base. I guess like the director changed Aquaman, who essentially is, but he was already changed before then, so he kind of kept with it. And, like, he became a bro. He's even making him bro in the comics now.
I mean, he's not really like the squeaky clean. Oh, I talked to fish.
He's not that. Yeah, no, he's not that. But he's also not bro. Like, what's his name? I forgot his name. The actor who plays him.
Oh, Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa. He's not Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa playing Aquaman. That's what it really was. Which I had no problem with. It was still a good movie, and I really liked it. But like, now they're sticking to the character. Like, Wonder Woman is Wonder Woman. Like, she plays Wonder Woman. That's how I imagine Wonder Woman being, like, that type of person. Again, Shazam. Like, they go in the direction of Shazam. That's exactly how a kid will react to becoming a superhero. In the exact same way. And I love it, how they kept that. Like, every Marvel movie just has the same goddamn tone.
Yeah.
Outside of except those two Captain America movies. Like, everyone has the fucking same tone. You get tired of it. I personally get tired of it, just from someone who likes film and watches a lot of movies. I get tired of seeing the same shit.
Well, another one that I think is like somewhat different is the first Guardians, because it's very much like a sci-fi comedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, for like the most part, like you could pop any of them in at like any point.
It's the same formula.
It's the same stuff, you know.
So that's why I'm excited for Harley Quinn's movie.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that, which I never thought I would be, but it's the tone that's exactly, again, if you read the comics and know that's the tone that she would be in. That's exactly how it would be, and I like the Birds of Prey. I mean, I will say hopefully it's more not her, because I like the Birds of Prey, and like, you have the Huntress and you have Black Canary, so I hope They put more emphasis on those too.
Question on Harley Quinn, because I read this online and I don't really know. Was Harley Quinn in the show first and then they put her in the comics?
Yes, she was in the Batman animated
Okay.
series. She's supposed to be a one-off, and people loved her so much that
So they put her into the comics.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because you don't usually see that.
No, you don't ever. There's only very few characters that have actually done that. But again, that tone too. Like DC's coming out with 2 rated R movies in a row. Joker, and now they're coming. Harley Quinn and it's Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And both of those are rated R. Or Disney. Yeah, Disney Marvel is never doing that.
Oh no, I mean they
would never do
can't.
that. Like they're just never doing that. It's not their IP. And the closest they're going to get is that's Deadpool, which I hope they don't fuck up. But
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're not going to Disneyfy it, I don't think.
You can't Disneyfy it. You can't
But
Disneyfy Deadpool.
they'll make the money off of it.
Oh, they will.
But
they're just not going to do that.
It's not going to be
DC
PG-13.
goes with the character goes. That's what I like about it. The more recently, because Batman vs Superman was, again, they made it too depressing. And
Yeah.
I love the Ultimate Edition. I do like the Ultimate Edition. It makes more sense. It doesn't make it a better movie. But outside all DC fighting scenes have been great. Every single movie I've seen, the choreography, who's doing that is doing great. Shazam's probably the one that didn't have the best one. It's just more silly. It's literally, again, that movie should have came out during Christmas and it would have been a lot better movie. It would have made a lot more money because it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
So outside of that, I'm excited. I hope they don't fuck it up. That's my goal. Like, if they're doing what they're doing now, I have no doubt there's gonna be a great movie, especially if Matt Reeves is making it the detective Batman, which we've never seen yet, really. Like we've never seen a detective version of Batman.
Right.
We've seen I'm beat your ass Batman.
Well, I mean, we've seen Detective Batman in the 40s and the fucking,
Yeah.
but no one watches those.
No one's fucking watching. No one's
the
fucking
black
watching
and
it.
white Batman stuff.
So we're getting the first detective Batman, which I'm going to appreciate. And like again, I don't know if it takes place in. They say it takes place in the same universe. It's like it takes place in the '90s, which I hated. They made Batman older in the first place.
Yeah.
Compared to everybody else, because 50-year-old Batman is not doing this shit. But he apparently is. But 50-year-old Batman isn't doing this shit.
Yeah.
But I hope it ends up good. Was it not Seth Rogen, but who's playing potentially the Riddler or the Penguin?
Who's playing the Penguin?
Oh, you didn't. Well, we don't know if it's the Penguin or the Riddler.
But Seth Rogen?
Seth Rogen.
Someone like
Superbad. What's his name?
Oh, Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Oh, I did see that.
Jonah
yeah.
Hill. Jonah fucking Hill. Well, I think that would be great too.
He'll be good.
Jonah Hill's a really good actor.
Yeah, he'll be good.
So, only thing I get out from this, I hope they do good. I hope they do more DC Black Label movies like the Joker. I want like a Wolf on Wall Street Lex Luthor type movie.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I want to see a Deathstroke movie because we got teased with that 100 fucking times to just make the fucking movie.
Well,
I want a Deathstroke movie. Just give it to me.
You mentioned Ben Affleck like being old and shit.
Yeah.
Could the contractual obligation sort of be like a Batman Beyond scenario where he's like the older guy and
I just hope not.
And Robert Pattinson comes in as like the hip young.
I wish, but it's not. They fucked up their own continuity. I just hope somehow. I saw a theory like maybe at the end which please also replace Ezra Miller as the Flash. He fucking sucks. That's the only I just come on, man. That's not the Flash. That was my biggest point. That's why I'm glad they're changing, and I hope they do change all these characters in the direction they should be in. Ezra Miller sucked so bad in Justice League. I didn't know who's playing. He wasn't playing Barry Allen. He wasn't playing Wally West. He was probably maybe Bart Allen was the closest one, and even then, like that version of Flash. Like, come on, like you got to just do better in that. But someone said like at the end of the scene, I get it. We need a Flashpoint they want Pattinson in the movies. Because we're not, and they're going to make him look older every single fucking movie after, like, it takes place in modern times. We get to modern times.
Right.
Then it's just stupid. You have to restart the continuity somehow, which is Flashpoint.
I think the best thing to do is just sort of reset everything because it's getting, like, so convoluted.
It's getting X-Men convoluted. No, we're right. It's not X-Men convoluted. X-Men convoluted is a whole different level of everything ever compared to life.
Yeah.
That's just a different level. But it's getting in there because I'm like, this shit's not making sense. Like, either you got to get... DC needs to, again, keep with the same tone as characters, like the Joker. Perfect movie, honestly, almost. Do more movies like that. And they're movies that are going to be in an in-universe, like, related to each other. They need to make sure those characters are those characters. Like I mean maybe because I'm smart, I read the comics and I see like one was Superman and Batman being best friends and their sons being best friends.
Yeah.
So I'm never gonna get that on screen. They're not gonna ever have them having kids.
Right.
Like that. But in comics they have.
You can do whatever you want.
I know. In comics they have both their dads are alive right now. Because the Dr. Manhattan, shout out to Watchmen. Both their dads are alive. And they're dealing with their sons, so they're both like that. Like you see the emotion, like I have to take care of my kid, but I'm also dealing with my dad that was fucking dead my whole life.
Yeah.
And it's like I guess I'm never getting that. I'm never getting that level of movies. I accept that, but like at least make it not again. Don't make it like Marvel, but make it your characters. Make it read the. If you're a director, just read the fucking comics.
Yeah.
If you're a screenwriter, read the fucking comics. That's all I can say to you every single time. Because at the end of the day, I like DC Comics more than Marvel Comics itself. Marvel comes up with some shit stories sometimes, some good stories sometimes. Like the new X-Men stories have been really, 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 really good by John Hickman. But again, Marvel just had a different approach to it. They like Marvel characters they barely read the fucking comics too, because half that shit's not
right.
real.
And I mean, you got to make your own.
Yeah, you have to make your own
stories.
story, but you have to adapt in a certain way, which
You
that's
have
what
to-
Marvel has done. They've adapted more from their ultimate universe, not from.
They were
616.
still faithful enough to the characters
Yes.
that it worked.
Yes,
So
except Iron Man Jr.
Iron Man Jr. Yeah.
I'm tired of that shit.
Is
But
he-
that's why I actually liked Far From Home, because I feel like it was finally separate. It was getting like that was the push to get him off.
So is he back in now?
Yes, for 2 movies.
For 2 more movies, then that's it.
After that, they had to renegotiate after that.
Okay.
So they just like originally it was those movies anyway. Everyone just backed out the deal. That's the they just went back. They went back to the original deal. That's all it was.
I see. Okay.
Because that's what it was. It's supposed to be those 3 or 4 movies.
So Sony just has to let it go.
Yeah, so they're never gonna let that go. I thought it was gonna happen after Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse happened. They're never letting that go.
Yeah.
Spider-Man makes them too. Spider-Man's gonna make money no matter what.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Amazing Spider-Man fucking sucked, or 2 really sucked. Amazing 1 was all right, but it still made hella money.
So like Spider-Verse, they kind of figured out like
What
we
they
don't
did.
we don't need Disney to make a good Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, is that what they?
That's what they probably think. Like I mean, you still. I think you still do. I enjoyed Venom, but Venom. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. It was a good movie. They were scared to go rated R too.
Yeah.
But
Don't be scared. We're still gonna.
Don't
go.
be scared. We're going to go see the movie.
And,
Joker
like,
proved that.
The 13-year-olds are gonna find a way in.
Yeah, they are.
Like it's not gonna like even if they don't. I mean, they'll find a way to see it in theaters.
They
so.
saw Deadpool. They saw.
They've seen all this.
They've
so.
seen all this. We saw this when we were their age too. So no matter what, they're gonna see it. And they have more access to technology than we did, so they're definitely gonna see it. Joker, again, don't be afraid to go rated. Again, that's another thing I'd say for all the movies that are making superheroes. Don't be afraid. Go with the character. Go rated R if they're rated R. Go G if they're fucking G. Like go whatever that character's direction is and what story you're telling that story.
Yeah, because from
Because you
what
see it sometimes. You just see. That's why I loved Watchmen being rated R, because that was the most comic accurate. They went almost frame for frame except changing the ending.
Because, like, here's the thing, like, ratings for me never make the movie. Like, for me, a rating, like, doesn't matter. But, like, we've come to see that the rated R comic book movies are the best ones. I mean...
Logan.
That's what I was going to say.
Logan.
I mean, like...
honestly, you're right. Like, my favorite ones are all the rated R movies. Like, Watchmen's one of my favorites. It's like, because they don't... You're limiting your creativity at the end of the day when it deals with that character. Again, it's not always needed. I don't need a fucking rated R Captain America movie. That wouldn't make any sense. I don't need a rated R Iron Man movie. But when I see Wolverine that's why X-Men movies had a little problem at first, because I'm like, this involving Wolverine, make it rated R. That man kills people for a living.
Yeah.
And it was brutal. Again, and that Logan movie was so beautiful. Again, Logan's beautiful because we saw him in movies the last 20 years. We just saw, that was his first role at X-Men. I mean, no, that's not good. That's not a good movie.
Right.
Even the shitty X-Men movies that happened.
Yeah.
Origins. Don't be afraid. Go rated R. Do your shit. Everyone read more comics. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah. And I've seen this issue. If you do order comics, go pick them up and pay for them, because I've seen like the pictures online where just like the comic shop owners with like these huge stacks of people that aren't picking up their shit. So
I think I go to one over here actually.
yeah. So yeah, the digital age isn't killing comic books. The people who don't pick up the comic books are the ones killing them.
Yep.
So I guess with that, I want to thank you for coming on the show. This was fun. We'll have to do it again sometime. We'll come up with something to talk about. I don't know. yeah, that's about it. So
Yeah.
go follow the Simba Pikachu.
The Simba Pikachu, all one word.
Oh, do you have a YouTube? Do you?
I haven't gone in it forever, honestly. I'm in development of a lot of stuff, and when if I get a different job and I'm not working 100 hours a week, I will start, getting more content like.
But the collective has a YouTube.
Yeah, Collective does have a YouTube. I think it's literally the Collective.
Yeah, so-
Shit. Actually, I'm not. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, follow the Collective. Follow Denzel D. Washington. He has some great videos. Hopefully, I get some stuff going out soon because I have a lot of shit written, but I don't have time to do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, Buddy's awesome.
Cool. I hope so. Well, that's about it for this time, guys. This is Buddy the Bruiser and the Simba Pikachu, Bad Luck Byron signing off, and I will see you next week with another episode of the podcast, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode of the House of Horror. Take care.